Alright, so here we go. Game number 2 in the semifinal matchup. Best of 3. 1-0 in favor of Infinity. This PMS H2O Gold Platinum Weekly number 14. Between Infinity and the Thedethangel. Protoss versus Protoss, starting off on, well, not starting off, continuing on MLG Dual Site. Game number 2.
This is game number 2 with Infinity taking a big 1-0 in game 1, but it looks like Infinity, it's going to be the yellow Protoss spawning in the right half of MLG's dual site, while Thedethangel is going to be the purple Protoss spawning in the left half. And yeah, Infinity with a great defense there against the 3-gate robo timing attack, but once he was able to hold that with the expansion up, Thedethangel, knowing that there was just no way he could come back from that, and throwing out the GG, saying, let's just move on to game 2. And Infinity's going to opt for the same building placement. He's going to put that pylon so that he can get that gateway and Cybercore at the front by his ramp, while Thedethangel's going to continue to pylon right by the base.
Yep, so last game, sorry. I'm just talking to my brother, asking if he could cast the finals with me.
Cool. Infinity going for a very economical build here. Looks like it's going to be 13 gate as opposed to the more aggressive 11 gates. Ooh, Thedethangel didn't get to stop that gateway down the way he was able to snipe the Cybercore in the first game. Thedethangel also going for a more economical build with the gateway on 13, and gas is being taken at about the same time. Looks like Infinity's was a little earlier.
Yep, so I was going to say, actually, last game, just a recap. Infinity opting for a 3-gate expand build, and Thedethangel opting for a 3-gate... I'm sorry, Infinity going for a 3-gate robo expand, and Thedethangel opting to go for a 3-gate robo pressure build. And Infinity able to get that +1 once his natural kicked in. He started getting the income, got his +1, got some Colossi out, and was able to just tear through every push that Thedethangel came with. And even though Infinity never once stepped into the base of Thedethangel just GG'd, because there was pretty much no way that he was able to hold anything off. Even if he decided to expand right then and there, it would have been way too late. And so taking the wise choice of GGing out and not wasting his time, Infinity's time, or anybody's time for that matter.
And looks like both players going for their second gas. Thedethangel's a little bit faster. Really early second guess, actually, just as the warp gate tech starts.
Yeah, however, he still has not put anybody on it, so not really sure. Ooh. Oh, now he does put him on it now.
Yeah, I think he was busy microing that probe in Infinity's base, and the Zealot's out, so the probe is just going to run home.
Infinity, I take it, has lost his probe already. Yep, looks like his probe is already out of the base, whether he lost it or... Oh, no, looks like it is over at the watchtower, the red tower.
I was going to say, there have been no units lost, so it either went home or... Oh, there it is.
Oh, it does look like Thedethangel going to be opting to go for a Stargate here. So we'll be seeing a bit of a one-gate Stargate play.
Now, the thing that's going to be important about this Stargate is, can he use, the Phoenixes, the Void Rays, whatever, to keep Infinity in his base? Because I don't know of any really great timing attack where, gateway units and maybe a Stargate or a Void Ray or two are really going to be able to, end the game.
Well,
like, can he use this?
Really, what you could do with a Stargate, you can get 1 or 2 Phoenix out and a Void Ray, and what you do is you go with Stalkers and the 2 Phoenix and the Void Ray, and you just lift up the Stalkers, and you let your Stalkers, or in this case, he's probably going to have an Immortal out, so in this case, you would want to lift up the Immortal, and you let your Stalkers deal damage to the other units as your air unit lifts up the, the strong unit, and kind of just, isolate that strong unit. So actually, he's going to go for 3 Phoenix, actually. Maybe a Void Ray after, but he doesn't have enough gas to do another Void Ray, so it doesn't look like that. But yeah, so you want to basically lift up any of the units that you feel are the most dangerous to you. Actually going to supply block himself.
4 Phoenixes.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, but that 4th one's going to get a little bit delayed. Pylon almost finishing.
Another 5 more seconds here. And actually taking the Nexus down and throwing down a Forge, so Observer is the first thing to come out. And if these Phoenix don't go the right way, he may be spotted. And no, actually going the right way, so... But this other Phoenix, oh my goodness, this other Phoenix is rallied to those Phoenix, and it's going to end up going directly across the map. And will this Observer spot it? Oh man, this is going to be close. And yes, it does
he's
spot
gonna
that
go right
Phoenix,
by it.
but at the same time, these Phoenix are already in the base, and going to be doesn't lose any, but you know, so here he has a lot of different choices since there are so many Sentry and Stalker, only one Zealot. He can choose to use these Phoenix to lift up the Sentry, and Sentries are light, they're very weak, and Phoenix do extra damage to light units, so they'll do 10 damage per shot, 20 damage per shot rather. So with the 4, he can with 3 actually, because one will be lifting, he can almost one-shot those Sentry. So he can do a lot of harass, you know, killing off these probes, and he can also lift up the Sentry and even snipe those out. So that's one of the great benefits of having these Phoenix on the field. And the 5th Phoenix is now out somewhere. Up there it goes.
Yep, coming across. Now he can one-shot the Sentries if he doesn't get caught. No. Alright, and there's an Immortal out, so let's see how he handles this.
And he has, let's see, only 3 Graviton beams available, so he can kill off 3 Sentry, but there are also 3 Stalkers, which really do a good amount of damage to these Phoenix. So he may just have to pop this one back. Actually, taking out his expansion, so planning on going the long route with this. The Observer still sitting over the Stargate, kind of just keeping an eye on what's coming out and seeing that there are just more and more and more Phoenix coming out. And we should be seeing a couple of, there are photon cannons now going down at the mineral lines. One of the best things to use to thwart Phoenix, because they just can't do anything against photon cannons.
Yeah, and he's going to need those if he ever wants to move out, because right now all these 6 Phoenixes are doing... Oh, there goes the probe at the red Zelnaga tower, so...
The Zelnaga Gateway.
Yeah, I guess it is the Zelnaga Gateway. So now these Phoenixes can really... 7 on the field now. Can keep the Protoss... Infinity, the yellow Protoss, in his base right now, and he's going to be safe to expand and just probe up and... coming into the natural, and this photon cannon is going to be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, actually going to try and kill off as many probes as he can.
2 Phoenixes.
He does lose 2 Phoenixes, though. A big loss there. Actually, up 2, yeah.
So he's back down to 5, but again, keeping Infinity defending at home. And if we take a look at the unit counting station, it looks like Thedethangel has taken advantage of this. 40 probes compared to Infinity's 33.
Yeah, I mean, Thedethangel definitely using those Phoenix to their advantage. Army supply is about even, so actually Thedethangel's still ahead with army supplies, so you know, he has been keeping up with his macro. And actually another couple Phoenix going in there. And, you know, these Phoenix have really paid for themselves at this point. You know, 5 kills, 4 kills, 2 kills. We look at the army killed. He's killed 17 workers and only lost 3 Phoenix.
Wow.
So I definitely think that's definitely paying for themselves.
I would agree.
A Twilight Council and another Warp Gate going down for our Protoss player, as well as for our yellow Protoss, and a Robo going down for a purple Protoss. Oh, a second Robo. So, interesting play here. Getting the Phoenix out forces a lot of Stalkers. Now getting a double Robo to pump out twice as many Immortals will be able to hard counter those Stalkers. And Blink is also on the way, which is kind of beneficial against Immortals. However, now that the range upgrade for the Immortals has been patched, they still can hit Stalkers whether or not they blink away. You know,
Yeah.
obviously they blink far away, but once they get back into range, they'll still be hit.
Yeah, and Thedethangel, I think, is really going to start to run away with this. He's taking his third, and just looking at Infinity, I just realized he's had this robotics facility up until now where he's making his second immortal. Only one immortal and one observer this whole time
Yep.
have been made. So with two robo bays, I feel like Deathangel's really going to be able to start to run away with the army composition. He's got 3 immortals out already. 4 and 5 are on the way. In fact, 4 just walked onto the field, so 5 and 6 are on the way. And yeah, I just
6 and no, just number 6 is on its way. The 7th one would be an observer.
oh, my mistake.
That's okay.
So yeah, so it looks like Deathangel with the superior army composition.
Ooh, these probe is trying to move across the map, but this Phoenix will possibly. Yep, he does scout that probe, and able to catch it before it. Did it scout that base?
He didn't see it. He didn't see
Oh my
the third.
god, he was able to catch it right before it scouted that base. That is huge. Now, Deathangel is able to keep that base hidden for a little bit while longer. The observer for Infinity is sitting right above the natural, which is going to be spotted. Oh, actually, where is the observer from? Yep, the observer for Deathangel's right over this. He could see that observer for Infinity, but he just hasn't taken anything about it, hasn't shot it or anything. And now the Dark Shrine is done for Infinity. So we'll be seeing some DTs coming out. And actually there are 3 DTs moving across the map now.
Whoa. And they're going to head right to that third. But, ooh, it looks like we got 2 photon cannons.
Yep, well these photon cannons finish in time. It looks like they
Oh.
one of them will for sure, I would think. But actually these 2 photon...
He's not going to go for it, going right for the probes.
Yep, the DT's going right for the probes, and actually the photon cannons will finish just in time now. And now these DTs will be a little bit behind, and the units from Thedethangel are going to move forward and take those out. +1/+1 for yellow, and no upgrades yet for Deathangel, and actually +2 finishing up for yellow. So where he may not be in the running with the army supply, he will definitely be ahead where it comes to upgrades, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to end up causing between these 2 battles.
And he's going to need that along with these 2 Archons
But
that
wait,
Infinity
I mean,
just warped in.
He has 10 immortals right now, and another one being chronoed out, and honestly, with 10 immortals, I really do not know what you can do against 10 immortals.
Run.
I mean, honestly, the only thing that does good against immortals, I would say, are probably charge lots, or even just zealots in general, and there are only 7 zealots on the field.
Yeah.
Sentry, maybe, but I just don't know. There are 11 immortals, and number 12 is being...
You know what counters immortals?
Immortals?
Void Rays.
Void Rays? Okay, yeah, so...
Any air unit.
Anytime Infinity will be able to throw out 3 Stargates and be able to pump out Void Rays. But, no, at this point it's going to be really hard for Infinity. These units are moving out. The army supply is heavily in favor of Deathangel, 116 to 94. But the upgrade count is still in favor of Infinity. But
here we go.
The Immortals moving forward and actually going to do some nice force fields there. Both players, Guardian Shields going down, 100,000 Guardian Shields going down, trying to lag the computer out. And it does look like these Immortals are going to be pushing forward and able to do some damage, take out a lot of these Immortals. These Archons,
oh my gosh,
really
the Archons are doing a great job tanking damage.
But actually it does look like now the armored units are going to be moving forward, and a Void Ray is also out on the field. And this is where
Infinity's going to hold.
Pay off. Is right here. The upgrades are showing that Infinity is definitely in the game. And
I don't believe it.
I believe it. You know, I said that the upgrades are really going to play a part, and only just now is +1/+1 finishing for our Protoss player. I mean, our purple player. And, you know, he's up against +2 and soon to be +2/+2.
Wow. Great job by Infinity.
Oh, and there is charge on these zealots. I didn't think so. But, yeah, so charge is done. So, that's definitely going to be beneficial against these Immortals. but now transitioning into Void Rays and Colossus. Double pumping out Colossus. So a good transition here for Thedethangel. And on that third base, you know, he's fully saturated. 70 harvesters. He does not need to create any more harvesters this game.
Ooh,
And
I think he's a little oversaturated on that third.
yeah, definitely oversaturated. He's going to want to try and take his fourth and, you know, spread out those units. You only really need 60 to 70 harvesters to saturate 3 bases. But since his...
And there's that fourth.
Yep, there's the fourth. These Phoenix are kind of just sitting around the base of Infinity and dying. Not too sure what their plan is.
I think you just forgot about those. These Archons now. +2, +2. Wow. Archons are good.
Yep, and here comes the army moving out, 82 to 86 in favor of
Oh,
Thedethangel.
this is going to be interesting.
But +2, +2 for Infinity, and only +1 for Thedethangel. But the Colossus able to range out. Thermal Lance is not quite done yet, but Force Field's keeping back all the units, and these Archons are just tearing through everything, and the Thedethangel is warping in some more units. Infinity trying to focus on that Colossus. The Colossus are going to try and run away. 3 Colossus do survive, but right now Infinity has a huge army, and this just goes to show if you do not keep up with your upgrades, even if you kill 23 workers, you will not be able to, you know, do that well. And you know, the upgrades are definitely showing their face, and +3 is on the way, about halfway through, and once that finishes, there'll be nowhere for Thedethangel to go. 5 Colossus are out on the field, but that's pretty much the extent of Thedethangel's army.
Wow, and Infinity is really just going to take away this third, deny the third. Yep. And here comes Thedethangel to try and defend.
Yep, and the Stalkers are in the front to buffer the damage for the Colossus. Colossus now have their Thermal Lance up here, but these Charge Blocks are going to just charge in forward. And, you know, Colossus just do not do well when this thing's right up in their face.
Trying to kite.
And looks like Infinity is going to have to GG here. The Void Ray is out.
I think Thedethangel's going to have to GG.
Sorry.
And there it is.
Wow. Does look like Infinity going to pinch the series. You know, he looked like he was behind for most of the time there, and he was behind.